Post show is probably, one of the toughest phases of your entire prep. So many athletes struggle mentally and obviously with motivation for obvious reasons post show. It is post show blues, that hype of, competing and, that build up towards, you standing on stage and you're peaking and looking your best, having this big event, and then there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, go back to your old life. There's no real next, kind of like within your grasp, next goal that you can, push towards. And it's very hard, to look so long term till next season for motivation. You very often feel that, you've worked so hard, you deserve a little bit of a break to eat some good foods. And if you do that, your body is responding in, different ways, and you are rebounding, and, your abs are disappearing, and you are losing your shape and your structure and your condition very quickly. And it's just it's a tough period for many, especially for novice athletes, but even seasoned athletes. Post-show is very, very tough. So first and foremost, I just want to let you know that you are not alone in these feelings that you're experiencing. Okay, every single athlete goes through some sort of post-show depression or post-show blues, and mentally just struggle following a plan or finding enjoyment in the gym, or adhering to obviously a diet or a reverse phase. It is a very real struggle, but you don't have, the luxury right now, to just give up, give in, and allow those emotions to take over. Okay, your body is at a very sensitive state post-show. Think about it logically. You've gone months and months, cutting down calories, training at an extreme level, burning sufficient calories through it on a daily basis, staying very disciplined, adhering to a plan. Your body is adapted to many things. Just straight off the show, completely resting, just eating whatever your heart's desires, without having some form of balancing out post-show and reversing back to, a more equilibrium, balanced way of eating, training, living, is going to be a dangerous position for many. Some of you know your bodies, your metabolism is different to others, and for many reasons you are able to obviously get away with a little bit more. But there are a lot of athletes that get into a position unconsciously, unknowingly, without really understanding what they are doing. So my encouragement for you is to find something to use as a goal, a photo shoot, obviously in a month or two after your show, little milestones that you want to weigh a certain amount or look a certain way for summer. Remind yourself of your why you want to do this. Remember, you're an athlete. You're not just doing this as a hobby, as a part-time, once-off thing. You're doing this because you want to become the best version of yourself. This is a quest of self-mastery. You are trying, to grow into, obviously the best athlete that you can become. And in doing so, you have to go through the phases. And this post-show phase, this reverse dieting phase, this, obviously increasing, gradually, slowly, with purpose. Don't just jump at it and do it without, thinking about it. Slowly and purposely increasing your calorie intake, decreasing your activity level, bringing more flexibility and variety back, and giving your body chance, to balance and, normalize and, get to a state of, equilibrium again is very, very important. It might not be perfect, it might not be pretty, but I want to just keep reminding yourself, it's either you choose, okay, to follow a plan, or you could unfortunately be in a position where you are going to be 5-10 kgs over stage weight 2 to 3 weeks post show, 4 weeks, 8 weeks post show, you 10 to 15 kgs over, stage weight. That might sound ridiculous, but it is very, very possible, and I see it happen year after year. And I don't think it's because athletes purposely don't adhere to the plan. I think because it is so mentally hard, especially if you didn't win your show or place where you wanted to place. It's almost as a feeling is like, I deserve this break, I deserve to take time off, and it's justified, of course you do, okay? But please, 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 I'm trying to keep you in a good place. I'm trying to help you maintain as much of that great physique that you've built as possible. And there will be a time and a place for you to deload, to rest, to have a little bit more flexibility, and obviously just not be in that prep mode. But right now, post show, it's not that time for most of you. For most of you, you need to still follow a plan 100%. You can bring a sustainable approach in. You can follow a 80-20%, how can I say, principle, 80% whole foods, 20% fun foods. 100% you don't have to follow a structured meal plan, but you need to adhere to a calorie goal and a obviously adequate protein target on a daily basis. You need to test your body and go from the low calories that you ended off with, and slowly but surely, especially for the ladies, especially the girls that are doing this naturally, especially those that are not trying to find your anabolic window and pick up as much lean gains as possible, obviously post show. Those of you that's trying to do this naturally, slowly, gradually, you need to have a plan of action, and that looks like starting from wherever you ended off right by show, and slowly but surely 2-3 weeks at a time increasing your calories daily on a slight scale, seeing how your body responds. Your body shouldn't be picking up 3, 4, 5 kgs. Your body, ideally, if we do this right, will find that balance. Maybe a kg to, I would say, max 3 kgs over your stage weight, okay? Your body can maintain there, and then we will obviously try and build your maintenance calories over the next 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks, depending on your adherence, to increase your daily calorie consumption, find a new maintenance calories, get it back to your once maintenance without picking up weight on the scale drastically, okay? You want to stay within that 1 to 2, maybe even 3 kg from obviously your stage weight while you're doing your reverse phase. And once you get your calories, let's say for example from 1,400 calories where you ended off your prep, if it's lower or higher, whatever that number is, and slowly build it back up to your 2,000, 200, 400, 2,600 calorie maintenance, depending on your activity level. Slowly building that up over the next few weeks, but doing so gradually with purpose, without picking up extra additional weight, without rebounding, without blowing up. And that only happens if you follow a plan of action. It doesn't need to be super strict and structured, but there are parameters. There are fundamentals that you need to follow. Protein intake, total daily calories, certain activity, obviously level that you need to adhere to in order for you to be able to have the best experience post-show, 2 to 3 months post-show, so that you put yourself in the best possible position improvement phase, so that you have as much lean gained without excess body fat, that you can, really put on, during your off-season improvement phase, so that you have minimal body fat to lose even at your heaviest comes your cutting phase, obviously next season before stage. So many of you unfortunately won't take this too seriously. You'll think you can get away with obviously just following it 50%. And I'm not saying that it's not hard. I know this is difficult. I know, because I speak to you ladies on a daily basis, how you are struggling with this. But my encouragement is just for you to fuss bait for a little bit longer, for you to really just, you know, set little goals, remind yourself of your why, you know, have a plan of action and follow some form of, you know, obviously plan and structure over the next few weeks, so that you can be in the best possible position, you know, come, you know, how can I say, you know, 2-3 months after your show, without that negative heavy rebound, without you having to put yourself and your hormones, you know, in a compromising position where you have to first now deal with that, you know, next season before, you know, you can really get into, you know, improving and cutting and refining, etc. You make it so much harder for yourself, that part, that phase of your prep next season, if you can't adhere to, you know, at least 90%, 85% of the plan of action now post-show. So that would be my recovery. All right, guys, feel free to obviously reach out if you need help. Don't do this alone. You don't have to go through these emotions alone. Speak to other athletes where they all struggle with the same thing. Speak to your coaches. They're there to help you. You're not, you know, superhuman. You're not meant to, you know, not feel, you know, obviously depressed or, you know, sad after show because it is over and stuff like that. It's a very real thing, and it's very normal and natural. Best thing is to just process those emotions with people that you love, people that support you, people that have gone through this journey, you know, many times, and they can help navigate you through and come up with a plan of action that's best for you, and, you know, your you know, kind of like post-show phase into improvement into next season. All right, hope you are well. God bless.